Hey guys, back with another Maplestory video here. This time, last video of 2024. Well, I guess this coming out first video of 2025, but you can see my V3 is kind of that main, Grand Guardian is that main chunk of damage, 4 uses, but still almost 30% of my damage is just a massive important skill to not misuse or miss time or get interrupted for and die with. It's pretty much make or break DPS. And then Will finally, again, like I said, same team, except for one different person. And we swapped out pretty much Pally for Sia, which helps us in Will a ton with phase 3 and kind of just hourglass protection during our test. And you can see like how much smoother Will is than Gloom. And I think there's a few reasons why, but I think Will is just more cut and dry. It is just more predictable. It is very, I think on the mechanics can be quickly, callouts can make a big difference. And just like it's not as there's not as much uncertain chaos as far as like for Gloom, Petrify Room can come during the eye phase, can come during lasers and all those things depending on how the team does or depending how often you get hit. Will is pretty cut and dry. Tests are the same, dodging, but it comes at the same time every single time, and positioning and aggro becomes much more important for Will. And I think that's what makes this team really strong is that I'm able to be aggro, keep aggro too. It's either me or Claire. And we're able to just position on the right, and the rest of the team is just able to stay on the left. And it's very simple for the rest of the team. Just DPS. If you get knocked back, blink back, right onto the boss, and then just survive the test. Right, the tests are very simple, and all of these mechanics and things that you see going on really is eliminated. Really becomes nothing. That really makes it much easier and consistent for everyone to do DPS and everyone to survive. So that's one things I like about Will. It is a long fight. This run for us is still 14 minutes long, but I mean we killed it mechanically. Like I said, this was just our second run with the team, second or third. It must be our second. I think our second, yeah. And for a lot of people, and they picked out quick, right? And this was a one shot right into, you can see kind of right into a clear. So can't really ask for much more than that. Gloom, we one shot and cleared. Will, we one shot and cleared all of our bosses on this day. That's really what it's all about, in my opinion. Kind of the DPS will improve, but mechanically, Will is very unforgiving if you mess up a test. So the fact that we one-shot this means that people really were studying up. That's all it really is, studying. There's no gear around it. There's no call-outs. Call-outs can only do so much. And people just had to lock in, listen, pay attention, and know what to do with the test. And DPS is really not an issue, right? DPS is really easy to do. It's the test that really makes it challenging for Will. So 2 out of 3 tests here in phase 1 went very smoothly. Still 10 lives. I don't even think I used single res at all in this run. And look at the team right there. Paladin DPS is just like a lot of classes will beat Paladins in Gloom like Claire does, but in Will, it just lines up perfectly with the test and the DPS windows that Paladins are just really difficult to beat, especially in phase 1 and phase 2. So if you have a good Paladin, I mean, they're probably the best aggros to have with Sacral, with the iframes that they have, the amount of HP and tankiness and self-heal. It is really hard. If you have a good Paladin aggro that can hold DPS, it is just so beneficial. And it's nice. Yeah, it's nice for sure. But you can see here, our team is pretty up there. Like Trufflelock's G is a bishop, fighting for that third spot. Top 3, top 4. And then Claire, and then we have a lot of strong players in the middle. I think we have a lot of mages. Lumi's Kana in there. We got a Phantom, Sia, and then a Thunderbreaker. So, very unique team composition. We got the basic support with the Bishop, a Pally, Phantom, and Sia. And everyone else is just mismatched DPS. But overall, it kind of shows that Will is very doable for any classes, even if you don't have great survivability. Like DPS is it's pretty much a DPS race in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So phase 1, smooth as it gets, right? No real worry about missing a DPS check marker, not one single death. Test went great, so as good as it gets. And then phase 2 here, this is where I just switch on to HP, and this is honestly pretty stressful. If you've ever seen HP gone to HP mode in a boss, let alone in Will phase 2, it is like it will give you anxiety like nothing else in the game, I swear. Just seeing how like the HP bars just drop so instantly and they come back up, and then when they go down again and they stay down because of the mechanic of phase 2 where you cannot get heals or the power elixirs don't work, like it's just like stressful. And then when the test comes and someone gets hit, it shows, right? It shows, and it's panic. It's like heal, but also continue to test, like right there. Everyone, we're just saying heal and comms. Make sure they press it, and here's the test. So this is really where, our first run last week, our first clear, people will get hit all the time. Even in previous runs, people will get hit, and you see their HP go down, and then they panic because I would panic, and because I'm looking at the HP. But overall, like you can see 3 straight same sequences. That helps. But the team is pretty locked in here. So pretty much all 3 combinations there in the first 5 rotations. So no one got hit, right? We have a Sia Hourglass protection, but overall no one got hit. And I think the main thing we tried to do was make sure that in between every test, everyone was pressing the heal. Because even if they had fair trade on, their HPs would tick down, and if they didn't have power elixirs, they would, slowly wither away, and one test could fail you, could kill you. So we were making sure we were always having the heals up. Our Bishop is great with party heals and fountains and kind of keeping everyone alive, even when our power elixirs are down. And you can see right there, it got a little clunky with deaths. I'm not really sure what happened there. It just looked like a lot of things happened at once with the knockback skill and then kind of debris that falls or the legs that hit from the top. So unfortunate. A few lives right there. It gets a little hectic. But overall, you can't complain. Like, the deaths didn't happen right before test, so that helped a lot. We were able to kind of regroup, get into position, make sure we weren't panicking. And then luckily, I think we get a lot of the same cycles again here. So that's 2 in a row, 3 in a row. And the nice thing about that little sequence right there is you can stay in the same position, right? And then I have time to kind of do the call-outs preemptively. So like right here, I'm just saying stay and then, double jump. I was telling them to double jump or teleport, which helps a lot because a lot of people just end up standing or like walking, and it's just such a long distance and it's kind of sketchy. So teleport and double jump for those, and then walk for the other 2 test options. But smooth sailing, smooth as it gets. I usually don't show the test anymore because it takes so long, but I was really proud of the team for what they did there and how, they showed out. Like HP bars, no one got hit by a single test. The HP bar did not go down at all. So shout out to the team. Mad props. I was really happy and proud of them for doing that, because that is, once we get to this point, it is really, really hard to fail, right? With a lot of lives, we have great support. We do call-outs with our Sia. We handle every yellow eyes. We stun. We have benediction. We have, it's basically just a DPS race and then cleanse webs here and there. And we actually get into a little sweaty spot where I think I die or aggro gets switched over to Claire, and we die, and then poison gets switched. Unfortunately, it was bad timing where someone blinked back on top of the boss at the same time the poison came, so they got poisoned. So this did get pretty hectic, but for the most part, if I can stay as poison, stay as aggro, the deaths and DPS, we had plenty enough. It wasn't really that sweaty with the minute remaining. 14 minutes may seem sweaty, but people don't know what sweaty is when in a 15-minute fight, when we were first trying to clear, and we were like, people were literally clearing at the 15-minute mark. 1 second left, 0 seconds left on the timer. So 1 minute left with all the cooldowns up, burst up. It was not really an issue. I still have a little bit of a hard time repositioning, getting back on top when I get knocked back and disoriented. I'm a little slow to react, but like right here I blink, but when blink doesn't come, like someone else got poisoned. You see that? It was unfortunate. It was like the exact same time that I got there, because I think she blinked back. So not her fault. It was just bad timing, to be honest. But she actually handled it really well. She got into position, I think, before I even noticed, because I thought it was me because I was standing right there. But then we had a few deaths here with the knockbacks. Web cleansing on the right side is a little challenging, but overall, I mean, like, what am I doing here? Yeah. But we're in a really not stressful spot at all. I think with Asia as well, we have good call outs, good communication on what skills we can use for every yellow eyes. And if anyone doesn't really know when to use it, like whenever you see poison, that's when you know yellow eyes is coming. Whenever poison gets procced, I'll kind of show you the next cycle. You see poison. If you don't know what poison is, it's that greenish yellow around me in the middle. That is a poison. So you see it went away right here. But once it procs back on top of me, right here, yellow eyes is either the next skill, right, like that, or it's 2 skills after. So for that instance, like I mentioned, we didn't have an answer for, unfortunately, we didn't have a cooldown, party cooldown HP decreasing skill to use. And that's why Sia is so valuable. They have Hourglass, they have Cup, they have Hat, and then we can rotate with our Bishop's Benediction and Shell. And just having that always have something up for yellow eyes or a stun as well, like I do right there, it just makes it really easy for everyone else not to worry about it. Worry about it. They're just DPSing in webs. And without a Sia, it does make it a little more challenging, but it's doable. You can still heal up, use iframes, things like that with communication and good callouts. But yeah, we're in a good spot here. We ended up with 5 lives. Never was really in a doubt, right? But what I like about Will, especially in Phase 3, when I look at the battle analysis, is that it's a good, really great indicator to see how strong certain classes are when you can just stand there and DPS. Because that's really what it is. There's no interruptions. There's no test or anything. It's just pure DPS standing there for 5 minutes. And Paladins in Phase 1 and Phase 2 are very strong, but I think they're decent. They're still S tier, but there's other classes that may be better in this time frame. So I'll show you in a little bit what I like to look at, because Will is the first 10 minutes, but then you have to scroll to after 10 minutes, 10 to 14 minute range to see what the peaks are, and then see what the lows, the valleys are, right? So a lot of people just look at this, but everyone's chart in Phase 1 and Phase 2 looks like this. But the second part right here is where you can really see the peaks when I'm just min-maxing compared to the lows of like 200s, right? That is the difference. So just a little insight. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Excited for 2025. I'll see you next time. And if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join the Discord community. The Echo Clan community is growing, the best community in the game right now. And if you want to take your gameplay to the next level, improve your gameplay, do more damage, do more DPS, you definitely want to subscribe. The first 7 days are free and you're going to get full access to everything in the channel. So you definitely want to check that out. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time.